Well, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan is defending his decision to yank Turkey out of an international treaty protecting women from violence. Mr. Erdogan says the move should not be construed as a step backwards and the fight to protect women is not over. But that's little comfort to loved ones who have suffered abuse at the hands of those close to them. Protests are expected across Turkey as the country formally withdraws from the treaty, which was commonly known as the Istanbul Convention. It signed it a decade ago. CNN senior international correspondent ARWA Damon is in Istanbul, Turkey for us and joins us now live. ARWA, this is certainly devastating for all those who have fought to protect women and girls. Talk to us about the reaction you're seeing there today.
A lot of anger, Linda, which is absolutely understandable. And the irony is that Turkey was actually the first country to ratify the convention, but now Turkey will go down in history as being the first country to withdraw from a Council of Europe International Human Rights Convention. And what women here fear is that this will just embolden the perpetrators of domestic and other forms of violence and potentially their abusers as well.
Serdar Ünlü can't come to terms with what happened to his daughter.
Bakın bu en son benim kızımla beraber çekildiğim fotoğrafım.
It's their last photograph together.
Surely, he says, something more could have been done, should have been done to save Sezen and his unborn grandchild.
Şu an yan tarafınızda, yüzünüzün ayrıca yan tarafınızda, her tarafta onu görebiliyorum ben şu anda.
Size herhangi bir şey diyor mu?
Demiyor da sadece duruyor.
It's almost as if he had a premonition of what would come in a society that he says doesn't value women. He took on multiple jobs to educate her so she could work, survive on her own, and never have to rely on a man. Serdar had begged his daughter not to get married, but she didn't listen. She was just 16 and in what she thought was love. Then Serdar says the beatings and abuse began. The family filed 2 complaints that resulted in a restraining order. Sezen moved back in with her father. If he had just been detained for 3 months, 6 months, my daughter would be alive, Serdar mourns. Sezen's husband lured her into meeting up with him, Serdar says, stabbing her 17 times, killing her and their unborn baby boy. If only this tragic story was a rare occurrence in Turkey. Women's rights groups that track femicide rates here say that on average, 1 woman a day is killed by someone she knows, a family member, husband, boyfriend, lover. 3 years ago, Gülsüm Postacı, a domestic abuse survivor herself, initiated free self-defense classes. Some of those who attend want to protect themselves from harassment on public transportation or in the streets. Others are in more threatening situations. We are born into a society that villainizes women due to its patriarchal system as soon as we are born, Gülsüm explains. Our rage grows by the day. And so too does their fear, a fear that no woman should have to feel, and yet all too many do. Turkey's withdrawal from the Istanbul Convention, a European human rights treaty that aims to end gender-based violence, is an attack on women's lives, Gülsüm says. The irony is that Turkey was actually the first country to ratify it. Sezen's father says his daughter's organs were so butchered by their repeated stabbings that none were viable to be donated. Just her eyes. Our only hope is the eyes of our daughter that remained in the world, he says. God willing, she will see the world with those eyes. Sezen's aunt Saniye feels like she's going insane. She says she wants to smash in her head, beat herself just to end the pain, just for it to stop. She had raised Sezen as her own after Sezen's mother left. She grabs my hands the same way she grabbed Sezen's when she begged Sezen for the truth about her relationship with her abusive husband. Sezen's husband has been detained and is awaiting trial according to authorities. His plea is not yet public. The real crux is not with justice once the crime has been committed. It's with the systems, social and judicial, that allow it to get this far. I want my child back. I want my child back, Sania wails. I can't forget. I can't forget.
Linda, it's really difficult to listen to that family's pain and know that it is being echoed on a near daily basis across this country. And so why would Turkey withdraw from a convention that it was the first country to ratify? Well, based on what the government said back in March when it initially took this decision that came into effect today, they said that the convention had been hijacked by people who wanted to normalize homosexuality and that this would degrade and erode Turkish family values. The government has also said that its own legislation is strong enough to ensure sufficient protection for women, which on the one hand is true if you look purely at the laws that Turkey has in place. But the crux of the issue is when it comes to the implementation of those laws. And so what women now are really fearful of is that by ripping away the security blanket that the Istanbul Convention was providing them, that they are going to be even more vulnerable moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely heartbreaking. Our thanks to you and your reporting. ARWA Damon for us in Istanbul.